Magic the Gathering.
Magic, 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 I'm so magic.
Gathering magic.
Spend a lot of money on cards.
Playing cool cards with my friends.
Playing all so magic.
We're all winners in the end.
We are here to talk about Universes Beyond. Luke brought this up the other day. We actually were out with some buddies there's a new LGS just down the road, which is super nice, super cool
It's
spot.
really nice.
But Assassin's Creed, the new Assassin's Creed packs are in stores now. We were all opening them up, and Luke was just like not having it. He was like, "What is this?"
I hate this set, in fact, and I want my money back. I want my $6 back from the one pack I bought. But yeah, no, we're gonna get into it today. But it's been on our minds. It's the buzz of the town is Universes Beyond and how everybody feels about it. And yeah, like you said, it started Assassin's Creed for me was the final straw.
Really?
Yeah, I very, very we'll go into it some more, but Assassin's Creed for me was the final straw.
And why was that? Just to I guess give a little bit of more context about what Universes Beyond is. We should first maybe
let's talk about what
with,
it is.
What Universes Beyond is. I think at this point, a lot of Magic players have encountered cards that aren't from within the Magic universe. Magic itself is a very strong, Luke said IP, intellectual property that has a rich story, an incredibly rich history, lots of beloved characters, lots of beloved spells, and a whole aesthetic in and of itself, right?
Yeah. And it's 30 years in the making. That's another thing too. This is 30, this is a property that's been going on for 30 years. And so there's a lot of there's years and years and years of lore that have gone into this IP. And in fact, actually, Magic the Gathering is probably older than a lot of the IPs that they are bringing into Universes Beyond. So
yeah, that's an interesting thought, actually. We've got
Assassin's
stuff.
Creed is younger than Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, we've got stuff like Assassin's Creed, like Hatsune Miku, like Fortnite, that is now
That hurts.
forever a part of the Magic the Gathering universe.
Yeah, that hurts.
So it's interesting to see Magic, which has such a rich history, start to now, and what it really comes down to is commercialize and also try to bring in the audience from these other properties, right? Universes Beyond at its core is a line of Magic the Gathering products that are set in the realms of these other IPs, like we were just mentioning, Assassin's Creed, Lord of the Rings, Fallout. They're not standard legal sets. They typically just go straight into other Eternal formats, like they're legal in Modern, Legacy, Commander, those types of things, but we don't see them in that typical rotation cycle that we're used to seeing from when new sets come out, like Bloomborough, Karlov Manor, OTJ, those types of things where they boom straight into standard and then through the pipeline. So,
and honestly, let's be honest, these cards are really meant for Commander.
Yeah, but it's interesting that they decided. I mean, it's hard to make stuff just Commander legal. Like even Commander sets are they have cards that are legal in Eternal non-rotating formats like Legacy, Modern. But yeah, a lot of it's Commander the Gathering now, as we've discussed in previous podcasts.
Love it or hate it.
Yeah, it's just the most popular format. It's the most, I guess, engaging format for new players. It's the most exciting format for new players. Luke and I are big Commander players. It's kind of our bread and butter. I've, over the last couple years grown more fond of maybe Legacy and Pauper, 60 card constructed, but Commander at its core, I think, is the most welcoming and fun game, or most fun format for new players to venture into. You've described it as it feels like a board game, you know?
It's basically like, do you guys want to play Settlers of Catan or do you want to play Commander tonight? It's that casual, at least in my mind.
Yeah, and I love it. I think you have to definitely enter it with the mindset of, hey, we're playing a board game, like we're going to sit down and we're going to play this thing for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And, that's something that maybe our play group struggles with from time to time, but it is because we sat down the other night and me and our buddy Johnny, we just jumped right into some Legacy games. You can play 3 games of Legacy in, a matter of half hour. You know what I'm saying? Versus like a Commander game, you're going to have to commit to potentially a 2-hour.
Yeah.
So it's just a different perspective, and you just have to go into Commander games with a different mentality. But regarding Universes Beyond, I totally get why they would want a lot of these cards to be legendary creatures, not only just for Commander players, but also for the flavor of these IPs. So like for Assassin's Creed, for example, there's always a lead protagonist, important characters, historical characters as well. Like now we have Socrates and Cleopatra and stuff like that in Magic. But they're like inherently going to be legendary creatures. Like they are the hero of the tale and the hero that's presented. And that's true for a lot of, I guess, these IPs or media enterprises that have all these famous characters. Of course, they're going to want to highlight those. And of course, they should be considered legendary. Like it'd be strange to have Ezio be just a regular 2/2 and then be able to run a full play set have on board a full play set of Ezios. Like that's not very flavorful. So
yeah,
but at the same time, it does kind of give off this feeling of like, oh, this is for Commander players specifically because it feels so flooded with legendary creatures.
Yeah.
I think each pack has like at least 1 or 2 slots that are specifically for legendary creatures. Like
That's crazy.
I think I opened like maybe 4 packs of Assassin's Creed. I think every single pack had at least 2 legendary creatures in it.
Yeah, my pack had 4.
Yeah, which I think is also just kind of the nature of the set, right? Because it is a smaller set. They're only doing these Universes Beyond boosters, 7-card boosters. It's a much obviously smaller set that's focused on, again, all these key characters within the Assassin's Creed universe. So in that sense, it does kind of make sense that we would be seeing a ton of legendary creatures, I guess. So, but yeah, anyways, back to what Universes Beyond is. These cards are identified beyond the obvious imagery from the IPs, besides it being Ezio or Bayek. They're easily identified there's a unique triangular stamp at the bottom of the card, where you see the little foil oval there. It's a triangle, and even the uncommons and commons have this weird little stamp at the bottom, which is kind of interesting. Like,
also, too, isn't the border different too? It's like a different.
Yeah, the border itself might be slightly different as well.
Okay.
I think it might be. I think it looks like a little sleeker. It's hard. It's kind of hard to
describe. It's more like metallic almost.
Yeah.
So
unique border, this unique little stamp at the bottom that identifies them as Universes Beyond. They've been presented in a ton of different ways so far, and I think that might be because of the recency. I think the first Universes Beyond came out in like 2020. Let me look that up quick.
Yeah, it was 2020. And it was The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead, which was a secret lair. So they started presenting these Universes Beyond collaborations as secret lairs. Then we had the Warhammer 40k Commander decks, and they were exclusively released as Commander decks. There was no booster packs involved there. And then also a secret lair. But then we also had sets like the Lord of the Rings, where it was a whole thing.
Yeah, it was an entire set.
It was a whole 289 card set.
Wasn't that standard legal too?
No,
it wasn't.
Nope.
Okay.
Straight to other Eternal formats. Universes Beyond will never be standard legal.
They're draftable.
Yes. So, Lord of the Rings had draft boosters, set boosters, collector boosters, commander decks, the whole 9 yards. It was a full proper set. 289 cards within the set, 72 new cards in the commander set. 4 really great commander decks. I think all 4 are really, really fun. I've been able to play with all 4 of them with my family. We've got the full set. I think that's the best way to experience the Lord of the Rings set is in one big flavorful game.
Yeah.
Where everyone's playing Lord of the Rings cards. Again, like you were saying, a board game, like we're going to play a Lord of the Rings board game with our Magic the Gathering decks. You know what I mean? The commander decks are great.
People are probably really mad at that. But it's true.
Yeah, and no, I think, again, at its core, Magic the Gathering is, in my opinion, inarguably the best game ever created. It's just so fun. It's just an incredible game. So I think this is where Universes Beyond really shines, actually, is through products like Commander decks, where, hey, let's sit down and we're going to do, like, for fans of Doctor Who, for example. Like, Doctor Who isn't my thing. But I imagine Doctor Who fans being like, oh, I've never played Magic before. This seems like a good opportunity to do that. And me and my buddies, we can all get these Doctor Who decks, and we get to play with all of our favorite characters and moments from the Doctor Who TV series, and like get to live those a little bit through the mechanics of this really well made game. Even though I don't personally like Doctor Who, and I think that's where maybe some of our issues start to pop up, is IPs that feel like they aren't inherently like Magic, or they don't scream Magic, they aren't flavorful to the game. I mentioned Doctor Who. There's also Transformers. There's Fortnite. I think it's the funniest thing in the world when you've got like a Transformer that on one side of the card is like a jet plane.
Yeah, it hurts.
And that's a Magic the Gathering card. Like we were saying earlier.
Yeah. So wait, really quick.
Yeah.
Taking a step back. So yeah, let's kind of jump into it. We have an idea of what Universes Beyond is. So let's just start. Like, what are your issues? What are your main issues with Universes Beyond as a whole?
Yeah, I was just starting to describe the issue of flavor, right? Like having these cards that don't inherently feel like they are Magic. Kind of like what you were saying earlier, how we've got this long history, 30 years. We just celebrated 30 years of Magic. We have this big universe already, and now we're gonna introduce Megatron to it. Now we're gonna introduce Aragorn to it. We're going to introduce the Fortnite llama or whatever, like,
yeah.
It's hard to, I think, connect the two a little bit flavor wise.
It does feel like a bastardization of like a legacy a little bit.
Yeah. Cause we will sit down to play, like, here's a good example of this. In the recent Pro Tour for Modern Horizons 3 for Modern Constructed, we saw a lot of the decks pop off with lists that included the One Ring. Obviously, the most powerful card from the Lord of the Rings set.
Definitely.
We saw the 1/1 serialized the One Ring. That was a huge fad. Serialized cards aside, it was a phenomenon. The whole Post Malone buying this $2 million One Ring Magic card. Pretty cool. But now we look at Modern, which you sit down and it's all universes within, that we now have to call it universes within stuff, where you've got, I'm not super familiar with the Modern format, but you've got creatures and spells and, everything that has already been developed within universe that are all Magic the Gathering flavors.
Yeah.
All flavors of the Magic the Gathering world, I should say. And then also at that table, you have the One Ring from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And, to what you were saying about the bastardization of the game, it does feel a little funny that we've got this like really rich world and worlds. I mean, I think of all the planes that we have and all the different stories, all the different planeswalkers that we have, all the different, main characters that are the mascots of this game. And they all have to go up against the One Ring.
Yeah.
And almost every deck runs the One Ring. Same thing for Legacy.
Yep.
There are definitely decks that don't run the One Ring, but it's such a powerful card that how can you argue to not play it? You've also got cards like Fourth Aerolingus, an incredible Boros card that's just busted, but you're basically creating a bunch of like human warriors from the Lord of the Rings worlds.
Yep.
You've got Lorien Revealed, another really great card for a bunch of different formats. Pauper, Legacy as well. That it's literally got Frodo and the Hobbits on it. Like, It's just, it is weird. It is a little jarring, I guess you could say, seeing the faces of another IP go up against like Teferi. It's just kind of, it doesn't really resonate at times. I can see that,
Yeah, I feel, exactly. A problem too I have with Universes Beyond is that it feels a little bit like corporations being down with the kids, trying to get down with the kids. Like a couple years ago, Netflix said, like, in an official ad campaign, Netflix and chill, like years after people had been saying that, like, on Twitter and on the internet and like with their friends and stuff, joking around.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like when when a corporation like winks at the audience in that way years after it was funny and cool, it just kind of comes off as cringe. And in the same way, I feel like that's what's going on with Universes Beyond. So, like, for decades now, people have been proxying cards. That's something that we've always, like I remember I saw one that was like literally from the 90s. Some guy taped like a comic book panel of Conan the Barbarian onto the little square where, like, the artwork is on one of his cards. And so, like, people have been doing this forever. But it's a little bit cringe. It's a little bit again, it's like a little bit like a corporation winking at its audience when they do it officially. It's kind of like, okay, you took this fun thing that people had been doing for decades and you now made it an official mechanic. And it's a little bit like Netflix saying Netflix and chill in a poster, in a billboard. It's a little bit like, okay, you took something the audience did for fun with their friends, and now you're actually making it an official product. This isn't really fun anymore when I do it on my own. So, and also too, like, another thing that people don't talk about is that I feel like the quality is pretty hit or miss with Universes Beyond. You look at the Lord of the Rings set, and the artwork in that is incredible. They even sold those, like, art palettes where it's like, hey, you put all these cards together and it makes a battlefield, or so they were really they went as hard as they could on the Lord of the Rings set. But then I look at the Assassin's Creed set, and the quality is all over the place. You look at some of the legendary creatures with the weird, like, animus treatments or whatever, and some of those characters look honestly like they were made by AI, or the proportions are all out. The one I can think of is that there's the one of Cassandra, and her bicep looks like it was copy and pasted from another piece of art. Like, it just looks so bad. But then there's other artwork in that set that look incredible. There's one that I can think of with, like, the pyramid, and there's, like, fire falling down on it. I don't remember the name of the card, but
yeah, it's like the weird little animus glitch thing. It was like something retold, history retold, or something like that. Yeah,
absolutely gorgeous. Or even too, a lot of the Fallout stuff. Like, I thought the Fallout set looked really good. But then at the same time, then I look at the Assassin's Creed set and I'm like, this feels extremely not very inspired. The artwork looks, very hit or miss. And even to the mechanics is just like, I feel like all of Assassin Tribal is just what they went with, because they were, because I mean, honestly, Assassin's Creed is a popular IP, but it's not, it's like, people love it, but people like it, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's beloved. It's not Lord of the Rings level. It's not Fallout level. People like it, but I don't know any diehard. I don't know anybody that's got an Assassin's Creed tattoo, but I know multiple people with Fallout tattoos and Lord of the Rings tattoos. So I don't know. That's kind of my beef with it. Is it feels uninspired, quality's all over the place, and then also it feels like corporations winking at their audience, trying to be cool and into the meme, even though it just comes off as cringe.
I can kind of see that. It's hard because it's hard to evaluate the Assassin's Creed set, because it's essentially what they did with, like, Aftermath, right? Where it almost feels like it's a smaller set, and it's a set that you can't draft, you can't experience it as, like, a limited environment. These are cards that are printed straight to, as we've been saying, other Eternal formats, a lot of which feel, like you were saying, straight to Commander. But I don't know. It's hard, and I think this is something that they're going to struggle with moving forward. You mentioned that you personally don't see Assassin's Creed as being, like, on the level with like Lord of the Rings or Fallout as far as the fan bases go. Obviously, right now they've got Final Fantasy and Marvel lined up. I think those are two bangers. I personally don't really care about either of those IPs, but they both have massive followings, right?
Yeah.
But to your point about Assassin's Creed maybe feeling a bit more niche, they're gonna. It's gonna be interesting to see how they adapt to IPs that maybe feel smaller like this. I personally think Assassin's Creed is kind of on the level of like a Final Fantasy, on the level of like a Fallout. You know, back in the heyday, like Assassin's Creed 1, 2, and 3, like a lot of those fans are still kicking, they're still around.
Do you know any? I've never met one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see when they encounter and start to connect with some of these smaller IPs, how those perform and how they present them. You know, and a lot of them might just be straight to Secret Lair. Like last year we had the Princess Bride. It was just like a quick little Princess Bride Secret Lair. The Evil Dead, quick little Evil Dead Secret Lair. I could see them for, again, some of these smaller, quote unquote, smaller IPs doing something less robust. And I think maybe for Assassin's Creed, this was kind of their compromise, right? They're like, I don't see this. I don't think we need to develop this into like a 200 plus card set. We don't need this to be draftable. I don't think there's enough here maybe even to make this a full-fledged, you know, full Commander product, all this stuff. Whereas with Lord of the Rings, and we keep going back to Lord of the Rings because I think it's the best that they've done with Universes Beyond, and it's also the most robust package that they've done with a Universes Beyond set. And so maybe with Assassin's Creed, they're just like, we can't do that. And also maybe to your point, the audience isn't big enough to merit that. So I'm curious to see who else they're going to connect with, what other companies, what other IPs they connect with next year, beyond Final Fantasy, beyond Marvel, because those feel like two big heavy hitters. There's almost certainly going to be like a full Marvel. I can see being like a full, like a Lord of the Rings size.
Yeah, there's so much they can do with it.
There's so much because of the universe. Like the Marvel universe is massive and it's extremely popular right now. And
yeah,
if it would be strange if they just did Commander decks. And I think in fact, I don't know all the details, but I think they've announced that they're doing like multiple Marvel sets and releases and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. It's not going to be like one big drop. It's going to be like, it might even be like, hey, we're doing the Commander decks now, and then we're going to do a Secret Lair series, and then we're going to do like I don't know, is Spider-Man Marvel? Or we're going to do what is Marvel? Luke, you're
I'm the Marvel
who's
guy.
Who's
Yeah.
Marvel?
Who's Marvel?
Name
Who
a big
is
Marvel.
Mr. Marvel.
Name a big Marvel.
Yeah, no. I mean, they could do like the Avengers stuff. They could do X-Men.
We're gonna do the Avengers,
which we might
draft
talk about
draft
later.
Set.
Yeah,
We're gonna do an Avengers draft set, but
Fantastic Four is big.
Fantastic Four. So like they could do a Commander deck for each of those things, or they could be like, hey, this is gonna be the Marvel big set where they have everything expanding the entire Marvel universe. We're going to build a full draftable set for that, and then we're going to do Commander decks based on each specific universe or each specific hero or whatever. But yeah, I think point being, it'll be interesting to see if that evolves and these sets get even bigger and bigger, or if they want to kind of like, I don't know how else to put it, but like a ton of small releases, like really pack their calendar full of Secret Lairs and Commander decks and all this stuff. Obviously, our current release schedule is insane. We have way too much product. I think we have way too many sets every year. Like going month to month from set to set, it's just hard to keep up, and it's hard to be like, it's hard to care, to be honest. Like we were just the other day talking about Bloomborough, and like I'm super stoked for it. I think a lot of these cards will look incredible. But man, they're already talking about like, what is it called? The shadow one, the horror one, Dusk. Is it Duskmorn? What is it called?
I didn't even know they were doing a horror.
They were doing a horror one it's like in October or something. But we're already doing.
Guys, I'm informed, and I didn't even know they were doing a horror set.
We just had Modern Horizons 3. I don't even remember anything about Thunder Junction anymore. I don't even remember anything about Karlov Manor anymore. Now I have to start caring about a Balin the Haymaker, a Rabbit Warrior. I have to start caring about stuff like this Whiskervale Forerunner, which this is a card that I showed to Luke the other night, and we were talking about this. And this is a whole other discussion, but like This card, Whiskervale Forerunner, is a 4 mana 3/4 mouse bard, right? Its effect is basically like whenever it becomes the target of something, you reveal cards from the top of your library till you find something with mana value 3, and it goes to the battlefield, yada, yada, yada. But that's my point, is like we have cards now that this is an extremely powerful effect. It's a cool effect. Don't get me wrong. I think this is cool. It's called Valiant or whatever. But it's a literal novel on the card. And like, how am I supposed to, with the amount of product we see each year, with the amount of sets, the amount of cards we see each year, how am I supposed to look at Whiskervale Forerunner? And I can personally recognize this as a strong card. It's not cracked or anything, but it's a strong card. It's a cool looking card. But it has literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lines of text on it. Is 10 lines of text on it. And I'm going to read it for you just so you like, maybe this helps contextualize my issue here. So Whiskervale Forerunner is a 4 mana 3/4 mouse bard with the ability called Valiant. Whenever Whiskervale Forerunner becomes the target of a spell or ability you control for the first time each turn, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card with mana value 3 or less from among them. You may put it onto the battlefield if it's your turn. If you don't, put it onto the battlefield, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
I just fell asleep while you were reading that.
Yeah. And the problem here lies in the fact that like the effect here is pretty straightforward and something that after doing it like once or twice, people like understand like, oh, this Whiskervale Forerunner, like I know what this does. If I target it, you get card advantage. Bottom line.
You sum that up in like 4 words.
This goes into like, yeah, obviously creature decks, right? But man, is this going to be like, there's so many other cards every set that why am I sitting here reading a card with 10 lines of text on it that like, it's just one of those things. Like I'm starting to like maybe become an old head about Magic a little bit, but like I'm looking at Bloomborough and I'm excited because I love the flavor. My wife has a frog deck that I helped her build that this is like the frog set. There's a card called Polywallop that is
looks very fun.
4 mana instant. Spell costs 1 less for each frog you control. Like this is made for a frog deck, right?
Yeah. Frog tribal
deck that historically it's a bad deck.
Not anymore.
But no, there's lots of really cool little frogs, and I'm stoked about all the frogs. But also, I have like 3 other sets by the end of the year to care about. And I also, again, there was just Thunder Junction, and like I guess I don't have to care about that anymore. There's Modern Horizons 3, the premier set of the entire year. I guess I don't have to care about that anymore. It's like, again, where this is an aside from Universes Beyond, I get that, but
yeah, but you're gonna take that Assassin's Creed set and you're gonna love it, okay?
But yeah, I think my point being is like we were all in this state. Maybe not all of us, but the majority of people I think are in this state of like product burnout. Like there's just too much of it, and then on top of that, we have all these Universes Beyond. So how hard is Magic gonna go with these? Because they're obviously making a good amount of money with these partnerships. Like I think they're super lucrative, and of course that's why they're excited about them ultimately. But how hard are they going to go with Universes Beyond in 2025? It'll be interesting to see, and interesting to see like from your perspective, Luke. You did not like the set, partly because you don't really care about Assassin's Creed, partly because you don't like the design, you don't like the aesthetics, you don't like a lot of the art, you don't think a lot of these cards are good, and I wonder if that's gonna kind of be the general consensus for some of these products moving forward.
Okay, so wait. So we just railed on Universes Beyond for a while. What do you like about Universes Beyond?
We just railed on Assassin's Creed specifically.
Yeah.
I like this set.
You like it?
I like this set. And I'm not a diehard Assassin's Creed fan by any means. I would call myself an Assassin's Creed Origins set. Like I'm a Bayek fanboy. That's like my relationship with Assassin's Creed. I think Origins was a really fun game.
Dude, they did him so dirty though. Did you see that artwork for him? He's got like a weird mustache, which he didn't have in the game.
Well, we talked about Bayek's art, and yeah, Bayek, the standard border one is
awful.
It's not great. But I know you don't like the Animus frame, but the Animus Bayek looks awesome. He's got his bow. He's got his hood. It looks like Bayek of Siwa. I think this card looks awesome. And also, I'm just like a little bit stoked to have Bayek in my equipment deck. You know what I mean? You know, people are going to be stoked to have stuff like Mjolnir in the game. I think there are a lot of really great reprints. Like, obviously, Assassin's Trophy has been reprinted into the ground this year for some reason. But we also have Cover of Darkness, which was originally like a $40 card in Onslaught, is now you can pick one up for $5. Like, that's an incredible reprint, and I think that's one thing that helps these Universes Beyond sets shine is by including high value reprints like this. I think they also have black market connections in this set. There's Sword of Light and Shadow, Sword of Feast and Famine. So outside of the, you know, the Ezios and the Altairs of the set, the hyper focused Assassin's Creed stuff that maybe the majority of enfranchised Magic players aren't going to care about. For the Magic players, we have reprints of expensive cards that are now going to help bring those prices down a little bit, make them a bit more accessible. Sword of Light and Shadow, another great example. It's like a $20, $30 card that you can now pick up for $8. Like, that's awesome. Same thing with Black Market Connections. I know that's gotten a couple reprints since Baldur's Gate, but originally that was like a $20, $30 card. Now you can pick one up for $8. So I think the reprints definitely help with these types of sets.
It sounds like you like this set because it devalues expensive cards that are reprints.
No, that's one facet that I think that's one strength. We're talking about the strengths of Universes Beyond, right?
Yeah.
I think that's it's not just for Assassin's Creed, but as a whole, seeing high value reprints definitely helps me and other enfranchised players actually want to engage with them, because hey, I'm gonna open a pack not because I care about pulling an Ezio, but because I might be able to pull a Sword of Light and Shadow, or a Cover of Darkness, or an Assassin's Trophy.
Do you think that the Assassin's Creed set brought people into Magic the Gathering that had never played before?
Maybe. I think that's like part of the, we were discussing this the other night, how I think that's part of the goal with these types of sets is to bring people from other IPs, collectors of those IPs, into Magic, if not just to buy packs or buy cards of like a Pip-Boy because they like Fallout. Oh, I've got this cool foil Pip-Boy that I can put on my desk and it's a Magic card, and it gets these fans of Fallout to actually start thinking about Magic, if not just to like collect the cards. Like, I think it's a really cool thing to bring people into the game, an inclusive way of bringing people into the game that might not otherwise care. Like Warhammer is an example of another really big, geeky gamer fan base.
Same energy
that felt like a really organic pairing. I'd like to see stuff that doesn't feel so organic, like the Doctor Who, right? Like, it's like, obviously it's like, a nerdy show or whatever. Like, there's a nerdy fan base for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And there's definitely crossover, but I don't think, like, at its core, like, I'm sure there are a ton of Doctor Who fans who are like, oh, there's a bunch of cool little cards of all my favorite doctors. Like, that's so cool. Oh, there's like there's a deck for this doctor I love. Like, I'll get that and like maybe figure out how to play it or something. So I don't know. I think it's cool to see people maybe get into Magic through Universes Beyond.
No, I'm into it. I also would say that a big, bonus and the obvious why everybody an obvious positive part of Universes Beyond is that when you love a franchise and you see it come to Universes Beyond, it's a pretty good feeling, So like my favorite franchise of all time is the Street Fighter franchise, and my favorite fictional character of all time is Ryu. So seeing my boy Ryu on an official Magic card with like unique mechanics that totally fit him, it feels good to see.
Yeah,
it feels really good to see.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Lord of the Rings. Lifelong Lord of the Rings fan. And man, they did so many of those characters justice.
Yeah.
I know we were just talking about how having the One Ring be so like almost insidious upon all these other formats, and
Yeah.
just like kind of a plague upon Magic. It is cool to see the One Ring be that powerful in the Magic universe. Like, it's cool, like, to see some flavor crossover. Like in the Vintage Cube, there's a bunch of Lord of the Rings cards, or there were for a period of time, like Aragorn and stuff like that. Samwise,
Gotta love it.
gotta love it. Fourth Aerlingus, it's like, oh, that's a snap pick. Like, it's cool to see Lord of the Rings cards be that powerful and be that accepted. So,
No, I love it. Yeah. So I mean, that feels good to see. When it's done right, it feels good. It feels really right.
do you have any cards in particular, Universes Beyond cards in particular, that are your favorites?
Yeah, I have a couple. I got a couple.
Mhm.
First off, I really love the Dungeons and Dragons sets. I don't know if that's technically a Universes Beyond because it's owned by WotC,
Mhm.
but I really love that set. Specifically, I also loved all the class-specific enchantments. That was like my favorite part. So like
Those
the
are
fighter
coming-
class.
Those are coming back into Bloomborough. We got some new
Really?
classes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that. So I love that. But then also too, yeah, like Lord of the Rings set was great. Yeah, you already talked about Lorien Reveal. That was on my list. That's just an auto include in every one of my Pauper decks. So that's pretty fun. And then also an unspoken part that I really like is that I love the Universes Beyond art treatments of other cards. So specifically the Lord of the Rings Bird of Paradise, I pulled, and it's one of my favorite cards of all time. It looks, I collect Birds of Paradises, so it was really fun to see. Also too, the Fallouts had a lot of really fun ones. I love the Guardian Project Fallout art treatment. Its heroic intervention is hilarious.
Yeah, see, that goes back to my point about these reprints that people want to play and Commander players want to see reprinted. There we go.
Or like they took the Tarmogoyf and they made it a Deathclaw, so that was really funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vigor's in there too, I think, for Fallout.
So yeah, how about you? What are some of your favorites?
Yeah, I talking about Lord of the Rings, obviously One Ring is up there. I like the Palantir of Orthanc. It's an incredibly unique mechanic. I don't know, are you familiar with this card at all?
I'm not.
It's basically, so it's Saruman's orb, right?
That's so
from
cool.
the story. And it allows you to, it's a weird trigger. Like, I think it adds a lot to like a game of Magic. Specifically, I'm thinking like Cube. But it's an incredibly powerful tech for a lot of archetypes. Obviously Mill, Reanimator, but also just in, like, you can make it pop off with like weird storm decks that have high mana value payoffs. It's just an incredibly dynamic card that slots into a lot of these archetypes and makes you kind of rethink them. But yeah, so basically what Palantir is, a Palantir of Orthanc is a 3-mana legendary artifact. At the beginning of your end step, put an influence counter on Palantir of Orthanc and scry 2. Then target opponent may have you draw a card. If that player doesn't, you mill X cards, where X is the number of influence counters on Palantir of Orthanc, and then that player loses life equal to the total mana value of those cards. So I know I was just dogging on cards being a paragraph long.
Yeah.
And this is an extremely like complex card, but I think it plays out really fun. Because you're forcing your opponent to, like, hey, I get to scry, I get to look at these cards. Now you get to choose if I get to like draw one of those, or if I have to mill them into my bin, which will usually help me as well.
Yeah.
And then you take damage. So it's like,
It's pretty
hey,
good.
I either get to scry 2, draw 1 every single end step, or scry 2 and then do damage to you. Like, this is just like a super cool high value card for 3 mana.
It sounds really good.
So this is definitely one of my favorites. I had to throw one of the Transformer cards in.
Why'd you do that?
Because, I don't like Transformers. I don't. But I think it's so funny seeing like cars, seeing like a Camaro
That hurts.
in on the Magic Gathering board. So I picked Slicer Hired Muscle. I think he's by far the coolest Transformer in the set, because basically what this does is at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you may have a player gain control of Slicer until end of turn. If you do, untap and goad it. So you basically give them a 3/4 double strike with haste that is going at the other two players in the commander game. And then if you don't, you can also convert it. You pretty much never convert this
into a Honda Civic.
Yeah, it looks like a Thunderbird or something like that, an old muscle car. But just the front face of Slicer is so funny.
Wait, can you go to the other side again? I just want to see what the creature type vehicle. Okay.
Yeah, they're all.
I was hoping it would just say car, but
yeah.
No,
they're all vehicles. They're all vehicles.
That's funny.
But yeah, Slicer is it's such a fun commander card, and it's just funny to be like, hey, here
Wait.
you can have your car back. Like when your opponent is like, yeah,
Everybody
take your car back.
The mechanic that he has is called More Than Meets the Eye.
Yep, that's the mechanic for all the Transformers.
That hurts.
Yep, it's so cool. And of course, I have to shout out Bayek of Siwa once again.
The man with the mustache.
Does he even have a mustache?
Yeah,
now?
look, he's got a mustache. Why?
No, he's clean shaven.
Wait,
His mouth, that's just his lip.
Oh, that's just weird art. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought it was a mustache.
it actually does. It does look like Bayek. I agree. It's not. I don't really like this art too much, but the Animus
That looks way
border
better.
Looks so sick. He's really. I mean, he's not that great for being honest, but he's a 5-mana 3/4 human assassin. Can you believe that there are assassins in the Assassin's Creed set? Who would have thought?
Retro.
But he's got double strike, and as long as it's your turn, other historic creatures also have double strike, which is awesome. I've got an Astor Bearer of Blades equipment deck that is pretty much exclusively other legendary creatures, a couple artifact creatures, as well as some vehicles, which count as historic creatures when you crew them. So this is just a good card. It's nothing crazy, but I also just want to have Bayek in my
It's just cool.
equipment deck. Like, it's just cool.
I
Yeah.
wish his creature type was human dad or Egyptian dad.
Egyptian dad.
Was like the
That's his
creature
true.
type.
That's his true creature type for
His
sure.
true creature type.
Yeah. So those are a few of our favorite Universes Beyond cards right now. But looking forward, Luke,
Yeah.
let's talk about our top 3 IPs that we would love to see become Universes Beyond sets.
Okay. Let's have a little fun here
Yeah.
at the end. I love it.
You
You just want to go one at a time?
Sure. Like I
Yeah,
do one,
go
you do one.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
sure.
Yeah, you go first.
So I broke mine down into my top 3 based on which one would have a full set, which one would have commander decks, and then which one would just become a secret lair. So for my full set, a full set on Elden Ring would be incredible. Really, it could be any FromSoft, title. It could be any FromSoft universe. Obviously, Dark Souls would be great. There's a ton of content there.
Lots of lore.
And honestly, any. It could be Bloodborne, Sekiro. Doesn't really matter. I just want a FromSoft full set. Yeah, straight up. That's kind of a no-brainer for me. That's the easy one, but I had to include it. It had to be said.
Heck yeah.
How about you? What's number 1 for you?
All right. Yeah, these aren't in any particular order, but my first one would be Arthurian Myth. And I know we kind of had something similar with the Eldraine set, but I've been really obsessed with this book series this year. I've just read all the books. It's called The Warlord Chronicles by Bernard Cornwell, and it's a modern retelling of Arthurian myth. And through it, there's so many fun characters you could do. There's also a lot of artifacts. Part of the book is that there's this internal fight between pagan, the Britannian pagan beliefs and Christianity, and so all these pagans are trying to find these artifacts to resummon the gods and kill Jesus. Is basically what they're kill the belief in Jesus. And so it's kind of it's a really good book. There's also a lot of really fun characters in it. Everybody has a famous sword, so it just kind of writes itself that you could have the swords of whatever, and also too, the setting is really fun because it's it's Great Britain, but the way it's described, it's almost like a weird limbo place that's otherworldly, the way that it's described in the book. So I think Arthurian Myth would be really fun. There's a lot of cool characters, a lot of cool artifacts you can make, and you could do some really fun, like, basically like paganism versus the Catholic Church kind of energy. So that could be pretty cool. Yeah, what's your second one?
Real quick, if you had to,
Yeah.
would you make this a full set, a secret lair, or a commander decks?
I would make it a commander deck.
Okay.
I think it's kind of in that middle ground. I don't know if you can make a full set out of it without like dipping too much into Eldraine or other, Lorwyn, that kind of stuff. Because that's the thing, there's all these like mythical creatures in it that like, they have like, they have like unicorns in them, but they're described as being like hairy and feral. It's kind of fun. So, so it's like, I think we'd make a really fun set of like 4 commander decks.
Cool. Heck yeah. Yeah, speaking of commander decks, I was thinking long and hard about this. I forget why this came up, but I think we were talking about Indiana Jones the other night.
Yeah. And
so my commander decks are going to be Universes Beyond, Harrison Ford.
Okay.
And
the Fugitive,
Yeah, so it's going to be a set of 4 commander decks. We're going to do Han Solo, obviously from Star Wars. And this is going to be this would be realistically a nightmare to try to get all the like rights
IP,
to this.
Yeah.
But we'd make it happen for Harrison. So we'd have one of them would be Han Solo. One of them would be Blade Runner, because obviously.
Oh no.
One of them would be Indiana Jones. And then I couldn't think of like a solid 4th option, so I just went with Cowboys versus Aliens. Cowboy.
Dude,
Harrison
I love
Ford.
that movie. Like,
Yeah.
I hate to admit it, but I love that movie.
It's so random because it's Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford as cowboys.
Yup.
Which already, like,
Killing
full
aliens.
stop, sounds crazy. Sounds like a crazy film. And then you're going to throw aliens into the mix?
Yeah.
Of Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, cowboys?
Also, people forget he's James Bond. He's British.
Yeah. So
He's got like a weird southern accent in it. It's great.
The alternate commander of that deck would be Daniel Craig then.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my commander decks. Harrison Ford, Universes Beyond. Let's make it happen, WotC. You cowards.
I love it.
Let's get Harrison on the horn.
Dude, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
All right, what's number 2 for you?
All right, my number 2, God of War. So, okay.
Surprise.
Surprise, God of War. Okay. Hear me out. This set I know I already just talked about Arthurian myth, but without spoiling the recent games, it looks like Kratos and his son Atreides. No, yeah, Atreides.
Wait, no.
Right?
Is it?
Atreides.
Yeah.
Atreides. Okay.
Atreides is
yeah,
Dune.
yeah, that's Dune. Sorry, Atreides. I can't say it right. I'm blanking.
Atreus or something.
Atreus. Yeah. Well, his name's Loki, so it's
Oh yeah.
But no, I mean like it looks like they're just gonna be bouncing around from one mythology to the next, and there's theories that the next game is gonna take place in Egypt.
Ooh.
So the game series is going from like, hey, you're this Greek guy killing the gods, to like, hey, it's you and your son and you're fleeing different mythologies and like trying to make friends, and like you're kind of creating unknowingly like the apocalypse of each of these mythologies, because every mythology has their own apocalypse story. So
I love that.
I think it would be really fun. I think the flavor would be awesome. It basically it's a set that takes place in every mythology across the world. There's a lot of theories on the internet that the next one they're probably gonna go to Egypt, but then also like there's a lot of like conspiracy theories about the game about how Kratos also spent some time with the Aztecs in like the Aztec Mayan.
That would make a lot of sense.
So there's like paintings on the wall if you pause the game, and you can like see their Chalk is like their god of thunder, and so so I think it would be a really fun like celebration of mythology from around the world. Also, there's a lot of memorable characters, like Kratos, and you could even do Kratos as a young guy in the PS2 era versus now, and then also too is that whole game, especially the old ones, are about basically about Kratos getting different weapons from different mythologies and like killing the gods with them. Everything from the Blades of Chaos to, in the new game, he's got he has that new spear in the new one, and so there's a lot of fun, memorable weapons that he has had throughout the games. So
Yeah, which would you want this to be a full set, or would you want this to be a secret lair? Because Arthurian myth is taking the slot of Commander deck. So now
I think this would be a full set.
full set God of War.
set.
Yeah, I can
set.
see that for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of material there that they could use. So, all right, what's your second or what's your third one?
All right, so for my third one, I had to like dig deep. I also wanted to. I was looking at something like the top grossing media franchises, like the Pokemons of the world.
Okay.
And I was looking and I was kind of surprised to see this high up. So my secret lair, because I did full set Elden Ring, Commander decks Harrison Ford.
Okay.
And my secret lair is going to be Cars by Pixar.
Okay.
It's like a multi-billion, like I obviously Cars was incredibly popular when it dropped, but I was surprised to see it's like within the top 20 or whatever top grossing media franchises of all time. So I was like, Cars, yeah. Kind of like how I love Slicer so much because he's a car. I was like, let's bring like anime, like
absolute
Pixar cars.
Yeah.
Let's bring a bunch of Pixar cars to Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
And it would be a set where it would reflect a bunch of universes within vehicles, so already created vehicles, and it would be a secret lair of 5 because I don't like secret lairs that are only 4, so it had to be 5 cars. So we're gonna do Lightning McQueen. He's gonna be the deluxe dragster. Doc Watson would be the Indomitable. Just felt flavor wise, he's
nice.
kind of the dominant force of racing in his heyday. Mac would be Horde Hauler. He's a pickup truck, Horde Hauler. Sally would be Cultivator Caravan, just because she's very loving and cultivated her community within Radiator Springs.
All right.
And then Tow Mater would be Reckoner Bankbuster, because Mater's kind of clunky, kind of busted stuff. He's like and Reckoner Bankbuster is just a really strong card, but it just kind of gives this like Mater vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Gosh.
So
yeah.
that's my full Cars secret lair. Watsy, just let me be in the credits, because like there you go. You got your Cars secret lair all lined up. I got it all set up for you. So let's make it happen.
I love that.
Yeah, I don't know
that's
why.
awesome.
And then we got to do get Rascal Flatts up in there, sing some Life is a Highway.
Yeah.
For the promo trailer, I think would just get us all pumped for it.
There needs to be a QR code that just takes you to to go buy the album on iTunes.
Yeah.
The Rascal Flatts album.
So that's my Universes Beyond Secret Lair. What would your Universes Beyond Secret Lair be?
Ooh, okay. Hear me out. Mine's equally as goofy. One of my favorite bands, top 3 favorite bands of all time, is the Gorillaz.
Okay.
And if you know anything about the Gorillaz, it's like the guy who from Blur, Damon Albarn, and then he I don't know the exact lore because he tells it differently every time that he's interviewed and asked about it, but he has all the music videos and the band is like a virtual band, and there's there's fake lore for each of the band members, and and each album is a continuation of the band's story as they so the first album they were teenagers, and then the most recent album they're in their 30s, and it's so they progress over time. And then there's stories of there's fake stories, so in real life Damon Albarn had a kid and did a solo album, but then in the Lore's band they didn't make a new album because the bassist went to jail, so there's they fill in the gaps. And so I think this would be a really, really fun secret lair to have a Gorillaz themed secret lair. And I mean, we've already had Post Malone, so they're not opposed to doing musicians as
that's true, actually,
legendary creatures. Also too, there's a lot of famous music videos because they're all pretty iconic, and so you could also have the album from the Plastic Beach. You could have the Plastic Beach itself be a land. You can get really fun with it. So yeah, I want a Gorillaz themed secret lair.
Heck yeah. So Arthurian Myth is your commander deck.
Yep.
God of War is your full set.
Yep.
And then the Gorillas is your secret lair.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Our both of our full sets are like video games, Elden Ring and God of War.
Yep.
Our commander decks are both
books? No.
I mean Harrison. I mean they both have like an air of mythos about them, where we got
Okay.
Harrison Ford's like it's his whole saga, and then you've got the Arthurian myth. You know.
Oh my God.
I don't know. It's a stretch. It's a stretch. I know.
Okay, I'm following you. Okay.
But then our secret layers being the gorillas and cars is pretty interesting.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. They would have to be in the same drop together. It'd be the summer drop for sure.
Do you have any honorable mentions? Any like fourth side pieces you'd want to do?
No.
No.
I think I was thinking earlier a little bit about potentially like a Studio Ghibli. I'm a really big fan of like Princess Mononoke, Porco Rosso, Spirited Away. Those would be fun as I think a secret lair. I don't know if we could probably do commander decks, but I think it would just be cool to do like a quick little 5-piece of, we could do Porco, Chihiro, Prince Ashita. We could do Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service. That'd be pretty fire. And then Nausicaa. It'd be 5 legendary creatures from 5 of my favorite Ghibli films.
I like it. How
about you? You got an honorable mention?
Yeah, my honorable mention would be James Cameron's Avatar. I unabashedly love that movie. I love that series of movies.
It's so funny.
They're so bad and they're so good, and I love everything about them. I feel like
you were saying you were like crying coming out of the
so
theater
good,
for Way of the Water or whatever.
Way of Water. It was so good. Okay, I have a coworker who worked on those movies, and he's like, "Listen, Luke, they pop off. Like people are laughing now. They won't be laughing when it's." I'm like, he's like an animator, and he was like telling me, he's like, "Dude, they get so crazy. Like, just you wait."
That's so funny.
So I'm a big Avatar man. But no, I mean, think about it. Like there's so many cool creatures in that. Like not even legendary creatures, just like cool little Pandora
fellas.
creatures. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the ponytail mechanic. Plug your ponytail in something and get +1/+1.
Oh, that's too good.
We got Morph in there. I don't know. I feel like the reprints also kind of rewrite themselves.
That's too good.
So I don't know.
I love it.
I'm here for it.
Well, so what are our closing thoughts on Universes Beyond? We've kind of done the whole good, bad, and the ugly of Universes Beyond. What is kind of like your couple final thoughts about Universes Beyond as a whole, I guess?
My final thoughts is that on one hand, I'm not a big fan in that it just feels tacky at times, and I feel like the quality is kind of all over the place.
Right.
But at the same time, when they do a property that you love properly, it feels really good. And I got to experience that with Street Fighter. So it's I'm a little torn. Yeah.
Would you like to see them maybe go down that road more of just like a quick little secret lair with your IP that you love, or did you enjoy seeing something like on the scale of like Lord of the Rings, which we're gonna see with Marvel, which I know you like?
I would prefer if it just stuck to secret layers.
Gotcha.
I don't want big sets.
Gotcha.
That's just me.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I kind of, I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about Universes Beyond. I think as a whole, I think it does, and might be controversial. I think it does more good for Magic than it does bad.
Interesting. Okay.
Because it's bringing people in. It's allowing people to connect with cards like, I was saying before, like Sword of Light and Shadow or Cover of Darkness. We get new reprints that also like...
yeah, but they could also just reprint that in a normal set.
Yeah, but and that's fine. And I'm glad that they do that. But it's cool to see them in like a new flavor, right? So the Sword of Feast and Famine, you see Bayek. I'm pretty sure this is Bayek because it's got the crocodile with a Egyptian like blade. It's cool. And like if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, that like adds to the excitement of these older cards that are now, seen in this new light with the IP that they love. And I love the creativity scene in Lord of the Rings. I keep going back to that, but I think it's the best Universes Beyond set we've seen. The Commander decks were very well thought out. They're really fun to play. Lots of great new cards for Commander, for other Eternal formats, for Cube. And yeah, it just brings more people into Magic, which is what it's all about. It's all about the gathering, folks. Not to be corny, but it's cool to see people who might not have cared about Magic pick up little Pip-Boy cards because they think they look cool. That being said, I do wish I would prefer if these took a back burner, if it meant Wizards could focus or be more focused and like be more discerning when developing core sets, sets within the universe.
Yeah.
Because again, talking about product burnout and like this like over saturated market right now with the amount of sets we're seeing, with the amount of new cards we're seeing, maybe they could take a little bit more care in those, and then I don't know, space them out a bit more, and then have either secret layers or I kind of liked the size of this Assassin's Creed set. You don't have to think super hard about this because it's not. You can't draft it. You can't buy commander decks of it. So it's like it's just kind of here for people who want to engage with it. I think that might be kind of the healthy middle ground. That being said, I do agree with you. I think secret layers are probably the best presentation for like quick little tastes of Doctor Who, if that's what you're into, of Transformers, if that's what you're into, or even commander decks. Like Warhammer was fine because boom, here are all the cards, here are the decks that you get them in, we're done. Like we can move on. Whereas like with Lord of the Rings, like I don't know, draft is fun though. That's the thing that I'm conflicted by, is like the draft limited experience of Lord of the Rings was so much fun. And then being able to take those cards from limited to constructed to, what have you, was great. So I'd like to see something like that with, like you were saying, it has to be an IP you connect with though. Because if they did a Fortnite, full 270 Fortnite cards,
yikes.
Yeah, I don't know. So like, let's keep Fortnite in the secret layers, but also maybe secret layers in these kind of smaller Assassin's Creed sized Universes Beyond sets kind of stay within their own little hemisphere.
Agreed.
So, but yeah, overall, I think they're a net positive. I think they're interesting. Let us know what you guys think about Universes Beyond. We would love to hear your thoughts and experiences with these weird IPs that probably shouldn't be in Magic, but currently are, and what IPs you'd like to see join the Magic world.
Yeah.
So we have this tradition of doing a Scryfall random spirit creature of the week, and we do it where we random until we hit a creature. We're both allowed one free mulligan. I just had the thought, what if we do it until we find a Universes Beyond card? So we might be here for a little bit, but I think we can manage.
It's funny you say that because I landed on a Universes Beyond creature
Really?
First rip. Yep.
All right, we'll take her away while I'm trying to find one for myself.
So I got Warbeast of Gorgoroth.
Oh, nice.
Which says whenever Warbeast of Gorgoroth or another creature you control with a power of 4 or greater dies, amass 2 orcs. And it is a red with 4 colorless. And it's a 5/4. That's what I got.
Is there any flavor text on any of the printings of
Yes.
Warbeast?
Yes. So it says drums rolled, fires leaped, and great engines draw by beasts crawled across the field. And I also got the cool border. So yeah, what did you get?
I'm glad you got a Lord of the Rings card, because I also got a Lord of the Rings card.
We were talking about this card the other day.
And what's especially funny is, Luke and I were talking about Secret Layers as a whole and how some of the art style, like, isn't our thing. Like, if it is, like, good on you. We're not here to yuck yums. But I am here to yuck your yum if the weird alternate art of Arwen Mortal Queen, you like this, because you're so crazy. You're crazy if you
You're
think
on
this
drugs.
looks good. You probably are, because this is what's this style?
I just think of it like stoner style. That's what I think of.
Yeah, but it's like oh my god, this is gonna drive me crazy. It's a specific style of art. I have to figure this out. You know what? I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go ask my wife.
All right, yeah.
I need to know before we continue.
All right, he's gone. This is Luke for editing Leland. I hate Universes Beyond. Oh, also, another editing Leland note. Elden Ring DLC, mid. What was the name?
All right, we got it. All right, so Art Nouveau.
That's what the art style is?
Yep, Muka in particular. I'm trying to find. There's one piece in particular that Maddie loves. Oh, it's this one. It's like the job poster, but this is 100%. So it's the Arwen Mortal Queen in Art Nouveau style, which Luke is also right. It's just kind of like hippie stoner style.
Yeah, it's just stoner drugs inspired.
An Arwen Mortal Queen, for 1, a green and a white, you get an legendary creature, Elf Noble. It's a 2/2. When it enters the battlefields, it enters with an indestructible counter on it. For 1 mana, remove an indestructible counter from Arwen. Another target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Put a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink counter on that creature, and a +1/+1 counter and a lifelink counter on Arwen. Now, the only way I was able to read that was by looking at the oracle text to the right of the actual card, because if you were to tell me to read this card, if you presented the Art Nouveau style Arwen Mortal Queen to me and asked me what it did, I think I'd just rip it up and scoop my cards, leave, and never talk to you again.
Yep, that's fair.
Because
it's you can't read it. It's illegible.
You can't. It's completely illegible. I was pointing this out to Luke the other night. The casting costs in the top right, you can see the green pip, you can see the white pip, but you can't. I mean, there's a 1, but it's like weirdly also not in a circle. It doesn't look like a regular Magic the Gathering mana cost pip. It's just this weird little black 1. And then her ability is on her dress, which is kind of cool in concept. Really, really hard to read.
It's like on her belly button.
Her activation cost of 1 is in a little colorless circle on her belly button. Looks like a little buckle. So that's easy to miss. But also that begs the question, if that can be in a circle, why was the 1 in her casting cost not also in a circle? And I'm nitpicking here because it's just completely illegible. Just completely illegible.
How did this get past QA?
I don't know. But all of them, there's like a whole, I think this might have been a subset within the, what was it, the like special gift, they're like special collector boosters that they released during the holiday. And there's a whole subset of these. Like there's the 1 ring, which actually it looks pretty cool, but is like also insane. And like this one's like at least somewhat legible. Like these are actual words. There was a Gandalf one too. I think it was Gandalf the White got one.
What have we become?
What have we become? Where is he? Yeah, Gandalf the White one looks kind of sick because it's like a.
Yeah, that looks cool.
It's like a weird poster. It looks like a kind of like a.
It looks like it was like in like an 80s metal magazine.
Yeah,
cover.
Exactly. It was like a 80s sci-fi movie poster or something. But yeah, so we're both chilling for our Scryfall randoms. We're chilling in the Lord of the Rings universes beyond this week, I guess.
Yeah, we are.
So we'll take it. All right. Thank you guys for listening to Wild Dogs Podcast. Be sure to answer this week's community question in the episode description, which is, if you were to pick any IP you could and make it in Universes Beyond, what would you pick? Let us know.
And let us know why it's Avatar.
Yeah, or Harrison Ford. Thanks to our sponsors. We currently have none. If you'd like to sponsor the show, please reach out to us via email at wilddogspodcast@gmail.com. Thanks to you for listening to the show. You can connect with us through Twitter or Instagram at wilddogspod, or over on Discord, which you are invited to, also in the episode description below. Finally, thank you to Johnny Bartlett for creating the intro and outro music. Please check out the link to his SoundCloud.
They're Canadian?
In the episode description. Until next time, Wild Dogs out.
Thanks, everyone.
Magic the Gathering. Gathering magic with my friends. Playing cool cards all the time. Tutoring love for all.